Hey guys, this is James with thegraymattersblog.com, coming to you on another one of my walks through the beautiful South Texas woods. Today I'm going to be reading a story for you guys. It's one of the ones that I'm really excited about. It's actually a series of microfictions. We call it the Golem Verse. It's a sci-fi giant robots set of stories, and I really love giant robots. Stuff like Mech Warrior and Pacific Rim and Gundam, these kind of giant robot pilot stories where it's a story of these people who wield these massive powers. I was a real sucker for the part in Pacific Rim where they talk about, in a Jaeger, you can fight the hurricane. And that's a little bit of where this story idea came from. I actually have a trilogy in this series. Sharon has one, and there's several others we're going to do. It's a little bit, I don't know if any of you guys who are familiar with Mech Warrior is a super futuristic giant fighting robot thing, but that the politics of the worlds are very much medieval Europe. So it's got kind of that combination. And we took a little bit of that because this is a super futuristic galactic empire, but it has very much the politics of colonial Europe, where you had people forming the colonies and the colonies fighting back, and just these interesting things, where you still had these monarchies and that sort of thing. So that's kind of the setting we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. This is called the Congratulations Letter, Project Golem. Congratulations. Per your application, you have been accepted into the pilot candidate program for Project Golem. A new AI core is in development and scheduled to be brought online. The chassis slated to house the core is a 20-meter bipedal assault class Golem with limited vertical takeoff systems and a battleship class weapons package. Designation HMG, Striking Golem. Call sign Griffin. Upon entering this program, you will begin a rigorous competitive testing process against the most elite members of Her Majesty's Armed Forces. The process will include tests of physical and mental fitness at the highest levels. After preliminary standards are met, simulated combat will be used to single elimination to narrow down the field. The first test will be for Neuralink compatibility. This is vital as Neuralink is required to pilot the Golem, as well as communicate with your AI. Neuralink incompatibility results in immediate ejection from the program. If you are selected, you will be bound through Neuralink to the AI immediately as it's brought on. It is the pilot's duty to shape the AI as they train together in service of the Kingdom of Albia. This is a reminder that this is a permanent posting. Your Neuralink to the AI is irreversible and cannot be terminated without irrevocable harm being done to both pilot and AI. Upon selection, the most worthy candidate will be granted the prestigious rank of Pilot G-Class, along with the call sign, Griffin Pilot. Good luck, candidate. Only the most worthy of the elite will be chosen to defend the kingdom in the most powerful weapon of war ever made by man. The following transmission was piggybacked to the official acceptance message using head engineer clearance code. Congratulations, Flyboy. You probably think you're hot stuff being accepted into this program, but there are a few things you need to think long and hard about before you accept. I know, everybody wants to be a badass Golem pilot. Golems are changing the face of war across the known worlds, and the one you're competing for is a real beauty, if I do say so myself. We're not talking about infantry power armor here. We're talking about full sphere force shielding, chest-mounted Kingslayer missile pods, and enough power in the limbs to punch through a Starliner's hull. All of that is powered by the same model reactor they put in the Leviathan-class Star Destroyers. You'll be wielding a weapon capable of leveling the city, and that's exactly what they'll ask you to do with it. You will be a catastrophic force, a hurricane at the beck and call of Her Majesty. If you can't make peace with wearing the armor of the apocalypse, get out now. And then there's your AI. Without the AI, you're nothing. Controlling a Golem would melt an unaided human brain. This is not the virtual intelligence assistant on your info pad or even some bullshit starboard system. Golem AI is a fully sentient artificial mind. Slavery may have been abolished in the kingdom, but that doesn't apply to AI. You will be linked to it from the second it's brought into the world, and you will be with it until you die. Period. It will be reading your thoughts constantly, and you'll help decide what kind of person it becomes. That's what it is, a person, and you're going to be closer to it than anyone in your life. You don't get to have secrets from your Golem. If the responsibility of raising kids scares you, you're screwed, because this is a bigger commitment by several orders of magnitude. If you become a Golem pilot, you hold another life in your hands, and with your AI by your side, you will be death incarnate. A Golem is not part of an army. A Golem is an army. A nation that fields a single Golem is a galactic power. Think long and hard about this before you agree to come. And if you do come ready. I'm not letting just anybody pilot my baby. You're gonna have to earn it. In transmission. So guys, that was the very first story in the Golem Verse series. Like I said, this series is kind of my love of sci-fi and this interesting futuristic thing where we kind of do futuristic tech, but kind of retro politics, where you have different powers on Earth having these colonies on different planets and the conflict that causes. There are 2 more stories in the Griffin pilot series. I'm very, very fond of this one. I'll be reading those again for you guys later. And I'm a big fan of what is the super soldier of the day. You know, in pre-Bronze Age or Bronze Age Mediterranean, it was the chariot driver. And then of course, that became obsolete, and then it was the armored knight, and then the armored knight became obsolete. One of the things we're actually seeing in modern day is, the great super warrior was the jet pilot. You had all the shows about how sexy they were, Top Gun and all this kind of stuff, but they're slowly becoming obsolete, being replaced by drones and things. So you always have this, super weapon, this warrior who's just king of the battlefield, and there's always a new one, and there's always something new, and that's kind of where golems fit in. And like I said, super into sci-fi. This is kind of one of my first walks into sci-fi, kind of trying out these different things. My, primary genre has been a lot of like urban fantasy, which I really love, but I kind of want to try some other things. So let me know what you think about this, and we'll talk a little bit more about the universe and build that up as we go through these stories. So, as always, guys, please drop us a like, please subscribe. I noticed a lot of people have been having trouble subscribing. If you clicked this link from Facebook, you probably brought it up in a browser. If you don't normally watch Facebook through your browser, it's not going to automatically log you in. So either go ahead and log in, and then you should be able to subscribe, or go ahead and just go to your YouTube app, if that's usually how you watch YouTube. However you normally watch YouTube, go to it, type in thegraymattersblog.com, all one word, gray with the American spelling, which is AY, not EY, and we'll come right up. We're the first thing. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us. It really helps us out. The YouTube channel is doing great. We post all the time. I mean, at minimum, I do 1 video, but we usually put up multiple videos per week. And I just really appreciate all the support you guys have shown us, and we want to keep this going. So I will check you guys out on my next walk.